Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, current PBOR2 legislation contains concessions. A light sport aircraft circles the world again. Signature flight support to purchase Landmark Aviation. I'm Bree Cross. It is September 28, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. The proposed changes to the requirement for holding a third-class medical contained in the Pilot's Bill of Rights 2 have been modified. During his address to the Senate last week, Senator James Inhofe outlined the modifications to the original bill that he deemed necessary to draw more support for the passage of the bill. The provisions now in the bill that would allow pilots to fly without the ongoing requirement for a third-class medical are: 1. Pilots would be required to complete an online aeromedical course every 2 years. 2. Pilots would need to see their personal physicians at least once every 4 years and be treated for any conditions that could affect their health. 3. Any pilot who has not held a valid medical certificate within the past 10 years or new pilots would be required to obtain a one-time third-class medical or special issuance to establish a health baseline. 4. The existence or onset of several specifically listed conditions might warrant a one-time special issuance, such as serious psychological and neurological conditions, as well as cardiac conditions requiring open heart surgery. The bill also added provisions directing the FAA to study easing the special issuance process and to expand the conditions AMEs can issue program. Here's a story that speaks volumes for the capability of a light sport aircraft. The Sling 2 airplane, being flown around the world by Jean Dassenville and Patrick Huang, has arrived safely back in South Africa, completing a circumnavigation that began in July. The trip was the second complete circumnavigation for the Sling 2 built by the airplane factory in South Africa. The final legs of the trip took the airplane from Malaysia to Seychelles and then on to South Africa. A welcome home party was thrown for the adventurers upon their return. The Sling 2 can be operated as a light sport or very light airplane. It is powered by a Rotax 912 or 914 engine and will cruise at 115 knots at 75% power. It has a maximum operating altitude of 15,000 feet. Of course, additional fuel capability was added for this amazing trip. The company is still compiling the final statistics for the flight. We congratulate the airplane factory on their accomplishment and wish them well on whatever their next adventure may be. After the break, rapid response engine service is a success.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, NavCom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. BBA Aviation, which operates as Signature Flight Support, has agreed to the terms for the proposed $2,065 million acquisition of Landmark Aviation. Landmark operates a global network of fixed-base operations, aircraft maintenance, and aircraft management and charter businesses. This acquisition represents a major expansion of Signature Flight Support, which is the world's largest FBO network. The transaction is subject to regulatory and shareholder approvals and is expected to close in early 2016. Landmark has 68 FBOs that are complementary to Signature's existing network of 133 wholly owned and affiliated global locations. Landmark's aircraft maintenance locations will also supplement Signature's existing MRO operations delivered through its Signature Technic Air and CSE Citation Center brands. Landmark's aircraft management and charter fleet numbers over 110 aircraft. Each week, we share with you an online video that one of our viewers found especially entertaining. We call it our Aero Video of the Week.
Final liftoff of Atlanta.
If you've ever wondered about the practicality of electric-powered flight, take a look at this video. A Millennium hang glider was converted to electric power using model aircraft technology. And what you'll see looks like more fun than anyone should be allowed to have. Search electric-powered Millennium on YouTube. After these messages, skydiving history is now online.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX-100, and ATX-100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. If you're a fan of skydiving, here's a resource that will provide information regarding the sport. The Encyclopedia of All Things Skydiving is a new online presence for a planned museum exploring the history of skydiving around the world. You'll get hooked on the history. Flight attendants flying with Jazz Aviation have ratified their tentative agreement reached on August 27th. The Canadian Flight Attendant Union represents approximately 820 flight attendants employed at Jazz. The terms of the agreement extends to December 31st, 2025. On the pilot labor front, Sun Country Airlines and the Airlines Pilots Association have reached a tentative agreement on a new 5-year contract. Union leaders and the airline came to terms after 5 years of direct negotiations and federal mediation. Trans-States Airlines has reached an agreement with their pilots who are also represented by the Airline Pilots Association. Union members have approved a contract extension with Trans-State Management that includes gains in economics and work rules. The National Football League is the first major sports league to receive FAA approval to operate UAVs. However, blimp pilots are not out of a job yet because the UAVs may not be used in a stadium filled with fans. Well, that's our trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The OpenAirplane business model is to make renting an airplane as easy as renting a car, and it looks like their plan is working. OpenAirplane reached an important milestone as over 10,000 pilots have now signed up to fly with the service. More than 58% of those pilots' home airports are now less than 25 miles from the nearest participating airplane, compared to just 22% when the service launched in mid-2013. Pilots who sign up to fly with OpenAirplane now have access to over 320 aircraft at 90 locations across the United States from coast to coast, including Alaska and Hawaii. They offer pilots the opportunity to complete a universal pilot checkout that's specific to the model and make of aircraft they typically fly, which enables them to access airplanes across the OpenAirplane network. Reserving an airplane can be easily performed on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. Imagine that. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.